This boy, Ibrahim, was on his way to school one morning when two dogs decided to follow him. But something beautiful happened next, and trust me, it's not what you are thinking. Fatima and Ali had Ibrahim at a later stage of their life. By then, Ibrahim was 55, while Fatima was 40. They had been married for 20 years without a child. Some people advised Ali to take a second wife who would bear him children, but he told them he and Fatima would get pregnant someday. They would just have to wait and see, and it eventually did happen. One day, 10 years after Ibrahim's birth, Ali came home with a dog. You have to know that before this happened, the man was laid off because his company was going through a financial crisis. A few weeks after losing his job, he saw a job offer for a manager at an animal shelter and he applied. It was at this shelter that he met the dog. The day Ali went for the interview, he got the job right away. He was on his way out when he met the blind 2-year-old dog, Stan. The staff told Ali that the dog would be put down the next week if no one came for him. This dog had been at the shelter for 2 years, but no one wanted him, and the shelter was becoming overcrowded. Ali felt so much compassion for the dog. He tried walking away, but something about the way the dog looked at him pulled him back. His eyes pleaded for mercy. He was desperate for help and love, Ali said. So this man made a very tough decision. You see, ever since Ali had lost his job, things had been difficult for his family, and the wages from his new job wouldn't even be enough. Yet Ali told the staff that he would take the dog, and they could deduct the money for the dog from his salary. How selfless. The family grew very fond of Stan. Sometimes Ibrahim secretly split his meals and gave half to the dog. Stan became a very big part of their lives, and he made them very happy. Unfortunately, this joy would only last a few years before the family experienced a major setback. On New Year's Day, Ali went to the shelter to share some meals Fatima had made with the animals there. Unfortunately, on his way back home, a car hit him and fled the scene of the accident. Sadly, it was a quiet road with little traffic, and Ali lost his life before someone found him. His death was such a huge loss for Fatima and her son. 2 weeks after Ali's death, Stan suddenly fell sick, and a few days later, he died. Everyone was surprised because Stan was a healthy dog, so no one saw it coming. Ibrahim believed Stan went to join his dad so he could protect him. In fact, after Stan's death, Ibrahim stopped mourning. He even got his appetite back. When his mum asked him why he was in a good mood, he said, "Although I am very sad that Stan is no more, I know he has gone to meet Dad. Dad will no longer be sad and lonely. He has Stan now." Ibrahim believed Stan made a huge sacrifice, and ever since that moment, he developed a very soft spot for dogs. He always wanted to help them in any way he could. On 2 beautiful occasions, Ibrahim showed his undying love for dogs. But before I tell you about the tear-jerking one, you shouldn't miss the sweet thing Ibrahim did when a stray dog showed up at his house one morning. Ibrahim was standing in front of the house when something zoomed past him. Looking up, Ibrahim saw a hound dog running towards the neighbor's compound. A few seconds later, he walked back towards Ibrahim, wagging his tail. The dog then ran away, only to return the next day. Once again, he ran around Ibrahim's house and the neighbor's compound. That afternoon, Ibrahim sneaked out of the house and gave the dog his afternoon meal. After the dog ate, he ran off to the neighbor's house. Ibrahim noticed that the dog had no collar and he didn't look well fed, so the boy knew he was a stray. For the next couple of days, the dog kept coming to the house, and once Ibrahim fed him, he ran to the neighbor's house. I think he really liked the neighbor's house because it was more spacious and beautiful than ours, Ibrahim said. The neighbors, Frank and his wife, had gone on vacation, and when they returned, Frank didn't want the dog coming around. They had farm animals, and the man was scared the dog would chase them or kill them. Ibrahim even heard Frank tell his wife that he would get rid of the animal, but thankfully his wife talked him out of it. Immediately after this, Ibrahim ran home and asked his mom if they could adopt the dog. Unfortunately, she turned down his request because they didn't have enough to care for themselves, so it was wrong to take a dog in such a situation. I think we should just pray that a family who can take care of him comes forward, she told her heartbroken son. When Ibrahim came out the next morning, he saw a pen outside his neighbor's house, and he was glad Frank had built one for his animal friend. Later that day, the dog came over, but this time around, he sat in his pen and he didn't leave. Each evening, Ibrahim would split his dinner into two and take the other half to the dog's pen. A week later, Ibrahim was on his way back from school when he spotted Frank and another man outside the house. But what threw him off balance was that the dog now had a collar and a leash, which Frank's friend was holding. "Let's go, doggy," Frank's friend said, and started walking away with the dog. Ibrahim didn't know what came over him, but he ran straight to them and screamed, "Where are you taking him to?" Frank, who understood how much Ibrahim loved the dog, explained that his friend had volunteered to adopt the dog. Ibrahim approached the dog, patted his head, and told him, "I hope you have a great life, and I will always think of you." This dog, of course, never forgot Ibrahim's kindness, so he wagged his tail and licked the kind boy's feet as a sign of appreciation. As the dog walked away with the man, he kept looking back at Ibrahim, and the loving boy didn't stop waving until the dog and the man were out of sight. It was the next day after this incident that the second beautiful encounter happened, and trust me, what the boy did made the world a little brighter. That day, Ibrahim left for school at the usual time. However, he had just walked a few miles when something unusual happened. Two stray pups came out of an abandoned building and started following him. "Hey cuties, I wish you a great day ahead," he said as he increased his pace, but the dogs continued following him. After a while, the dogs stopped following him and just sat down on the road. That's when Ibrahim decided to say hello in the most heartwarming way. He walked towards the dogs, crouched down, and hugged each one of them lovingly. "You see, I once had a dog. His name is Stan, and he is taking care of my dad now. My father is safe because of your kind," he told the dogs. Afterward, he got up and walked away, only to turn back and rush towards the dogs for a second round of hugging. This is the part that brought tears to my eyes. As Ibrahim walked away, the dogs didn't take their eyes off of him. Who knows, it could be the first time that they ever got a hug from a human. Ibrahim thought his beautiful action had gone unseen, but someone in the neighborhood had witnessed it. This person recorded everything and uploaded it online. The video went viral immediately. It touched several people's hearts, and they praised Ibrahim for his kindness and courage. This just shows that dogs are kind creatures and wouldn't hurt anyone who has good intentions toward them. Many homeless dogs face rejection, and adults even tell their kids not to go near strays because they can't be trusted. But these animals deserve love and attention too. There are so many strays out there who need food or a hug to brighten their day. I am glad Ibrahim made these two dogs happy with his compassion and kind heart. Did you enjoy the story? Then give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts about this story. See you in the next video.